All right, people. So live now, at least for the last part of the round number 4 of the Tata Steel 2024. Let me see if I... Yeah, okay. And by the looks of it, there is a passer here. There is a passer here. And there is a problem for white. So probably Dingley Ren is going to drop this game. We're waiting for our friends to see if they can join, and we'll have a look together. So frankly, I don't know. I mean, the idea would be if you manage to hit twice the black pawn, but it's incredibly difficult. If you try to get closer, probably you're running into this. So I don't know how you're supposed to try and do something here. That pawn makes all the difference. So we should be now on kick.com, YouTube, LinkedIn, and probably what else? Facebook, I think? Yeah, Facebook. Let me check if we're live here. So we're going to watch together the last minutes in these games. Are we actually live here? I think we should be. Okay. Right, so I think we can convene, guys, that this one is compromised for white. Feel free to tell me if you appreciate I'm wrong at any moment or something. So feel free to jump in and make the necessary correction if you see something else that I don't. So this one is lost. Let's have a quick look at other games. Oops, Tata Steel Masters right now. Who else is playing? So by the looks of it, Prague is going to win this. Round 4. Who else is playing? Nepomniachtchi, Donchenko, Max Sudlu. Are these guys? Oh, they still no, they finished. Who else is playing? Gukesh Anishgiri. I think we should look at that one too. Joe and June drew with Max Warmadam. So these guys have drawn. Also, Jordan Van Forest and Vidit drew. Firuja Nodibek drew. But Anish Giri produces right now. So this one is the game that we should be probably looking at. And Jan Nepomniachtchi. And who else is playing? Actually, Wu Wei. Actually, we should look at that one too. Let's have a look here quickly. So that's Jan Nepomniachtchi playing with black, right? Wait a second. No, he's white. Apologies. Jan Nepomniachtchi plays white. He just moved now, queen to c7. Black is Alexander Donchenko. And that's a nice position here. How do you attack the king? How do you check them? You cannot. You can't check the king now. Using the queen, that is. Well, you can't check the king with anything. So let's see what black can play here. The bishop is pinned, by the way. Queen can't check the king. And the queen hits the rook, so to speak. You can't push this guy because there is a check coming and you're in deep trouble. So I guess white should be winning. I guess white is doing better here now. And they should be winning. That is, Jan Nepomniachtchi should be winning here. Okay, what else is happening? Just try to fix this board a bit. The screen and stuff. I don't know, maybe something like this. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. Okay, going back to the game now. I don't know what black can play because there is no good moves here available. You can't move the bishop. You might be able to move the rook. Where? Do you go here? What else can you play? If you move here, you better make sure you checkmate or something because I guess they want to play also this. White wants to play this. And then you need to make sure that the queen goes back, defends. It's a bit critical. And white needs like 3 steps to get a brand new queen. So it's important what your plan is for black here. Difficult game to play for black now. Again, you can't push this guy down here because rook will take with check, and I think it's bad, very bad for black. What else can you play? Not too many things. You might try this in order to do something like this. Or maybe you want to do something like this. And then they move, say, there. And you play this, but then they run away. Have you got any other check? You might have another check here, then they go here. You might have another check here, then they go here. And you might have another one here. Okay, it's getting interesting. It's getting interesting. I don't think it's very, very easy. I don't think it's easy. If it was easy, he would have moved already, but he didn't. Because it's just simply not easy to assess this one correctly. That's a tough ending here. Tougher for Alexander Donchenko, that is. Where on earth? Oh, got a billion little things here. Stay tuned. Oh. So again, I think it looks better for white. And you know what else is good for white here? The fact that he's got like 27 minutes. Black is like 6 minutes 40 seconds, and it's going down unless. And I think that's important. It is important. Time is very important. Time is a weapon. Time is a weapon. What's this message? Always offers to buy all sorts of things, which we may or may not need. Very likely we don't need. Okay. So, now that's probably the most interesting game this evening. Let me switch over to Dingley Ren and Prague. Let's see if they did something. Ooh, Dingley Ren is really fallen into a deep thinking. Deep thinking because he's very limited and you can't approach this guy here. I mean, probably you're gonna what? Because if you run away, say you're gonna do something like f2, there might be something like this. And I'm not sure what you're gonna do with the y pawn. So it looks like Prague is gonna win this game. By the looks of it, he's gonna win this game, Prague. Here. He's doing very well. And as soon as the Black King manages to get on g4, I'm really not sure what you're gonna do. I don't know. So Prague should be winning here, my understanding. Let's see Anish Giri and Gukesh. So we got 4 games happening live as we speak, guys. Anish Giri plays white and Gukesh is black here. Last move for Anish Giri was King TF3. And apologies. And black to play now. Gukesh's turn to do something. There is a interesting way now. The black king attacks, but you can't take because this guy is falling here. So you gotta be careful. You can't take that guy. You can't take that pawn. You absolutely cannot touch it. So you got to do something else. You got to do something else than taking the pawn. So what do you do with black here, though? What do you do? Is this one working? So it's Gukesh's turn, right? So let's see. What about this idea? I'm not saying you're going to win that bishop or anything, but it's a point of attack. Of course, they might be tempted then to push the pawn e3 to e4, making that bishop pretty much untouchable. Pretty much untouchable. If that's what you want to do. I don't know what else you could do with black. Looks like white is doing better here. I'm not switching over to the engine. I just want to assess it as I can. And I think everyone should do that until the game is finished. Especially the commentators and the guys that are doing the stream and whoever they are. They should be keeping the engine off until the end of the game. Yeah, and there is always the prospect of a rook over to h. I think that's quite dangerous for black. Really, so you can't move that bishop. Black can't move the bishop. Again, if there is a rook to f6, you do e3 to e4, and you're gonna make these guys incredibly strong, and they're gonna stay there forever until the very end of the game. If you don't do rook f6, what else do you do? I mean, really, king can't move, right? So the black king can't move because you need to defend the bishop on g7 pretty much all the time. You can't move the rook, the king anywhere. And if you move the rook, okay, he moved it here. He moved it to c4. Huh. Why did he move it to c4? What does he want to do? I wonder. Feel free, guys, to tell me your ideas if you have a better and quicker insight into the reality of the moves. Feel free to communicate. Could it be, first thing first, the white king can't move? Let's say this. So they can't do that. Okay. Could it be this, secondly, could it be this intention? But if you manage to get the rook to h4, let's just be honest, even if you manage to get the rook here, I guess we could just play this. Just give an example. And frankly, I don't know what you're doing. It's not clear. Or maybe this. And then you're gonna have your rook blocked. So I'm not sure he wants to get that rook over to h4. I'm not sure about this. I'm really not sure that that's the right intention. And we should be live on Facebook as well. Let me check here briefly. Yeah. I think we are live now on these platforms. All right. I don't know. Okay, white is doing a little bit better here. Would you be tempted, just asking you guys, would you be tempted to play this pawn up now? Or is that a mistake? Because if you push the pawn, first thing first, it's going to stay forever, right? And you blocking this pawn from coming down, might you be able to play the king? Therefore, the bishop can't move, because if they move, it's just simply checkmate. Hi there, Charles. How's the sound, buddy? Is the sound okay over there? I hope it's not any lagging or anything. I hope. At my end, looks okay here. So you came via Facebook, okay? So thanks for stopping by the way. Tell me, what do you think about the move e3 to e4? So this is Anish Giri white, Gukesh playing black. What do you think about e3 to e4? You reckon that might be the best move for white? Or should you ignore it and focus on something else? Again, black king can't take the pawn because rook simply takes the bishop. So if that's clear, I guess I would be tempted, personally, I would be tempted to play something like e3 to e4. I don't know about you guys. I don't know about your opinion on this, but I guess I would be tempted to do so. And yeah, Yeah, something like this. So if you are Nishigiri, Charles, how would you proceed at this moment in the game's evolution? What would you do? Hello, Simpson. That's fine, Simpson. We're gonna find it together. We are going to discover together. We're making a collective effort, and we're gonna find the right stuff to play. Or at least we're just throwing our candidate moves. Can't be that bad. It's my favorite type of exercise. Chess exercise, I think it's very good. Okay, bishop to d3. Well, we can see that it hits the rook. That's for sure. Well, we can understand at least that. I didn't expect this, though. But it's cool. It attacks the rook. Now, Gukesh must move the black rook. That's no if, no but. He gotta move it. He gotta move it. Where do you move the rook? Well, there are some options, though. Again, if rook, guys, you know what's interesting here? If Gukesh places the rook on h4, actually that doesn't do a damn thing. It's going to be just bishop g6 and everything is perfectly fine for white. Now, Anishgiri is doing incredibly well here. He's doing very well in this position. The poor black bishop can't move anywhere. Well, you kind of can, but you're getting in deep trouble. So I don't see nothing. I mean, you could play rook b4. You could play rook c3. You know, this kind of stuff. Rook c3, rook b4. What do you do? I don't think you have too many options. Or do you travel on the back rank? But what's the point of it? I'm not sure. I think black does not have too much initiative here. You just need to play defensively carefully. Try not to mess it up more than it is. Bishop d3 is an attacking move played by Anish. So now you have to move that rook. And that's going to eat his time. It's going to consume his time. He's on 14 seconds and it's going to go even less. It's going to go even less. So I think white is very happy here. Anish Giri very happy in this position. Very happy in this position. Enjoying 2 extra pawns. A rook that is cruising on the 7th rank. Always threatening a check. Played on c6. Oh yeah, Charles, I would agree. Yeah? Yeah, as I also mentioned myself a few times, the bishop on g6 indeed. I think it's a very good spot there. You can't really do nothing. Bishop on g6, together with the pawn, I think it's pretty much untouchable. I guess Gukesh should be very happy for a repetition and a draw. But very likely Anish is not gonna draw. Don't tell me he's gonna draw here. Don't tell me he's gonna draw here. I mean, he should play. White should play for a win here. I don't know about you guys, but it looks like white should play for a win. Everyone should play for a win here. Absolutely, for a win, all the way for a win. Okay, let's go to, by the way, Dingley Ren was in a very bad situation. Very bad situation here. The problem is for Dingley Ren is that Prague has a free pawn and the king can always make it on G, grabbing this guy as well. Well, I know it's easier said than done, but black is definitely doing better and Prague should be winning. I'm not sure if king should be played now on g4. I'm not sure. I guess Dingley Ren would be super happy with the draw if he manages to grab the pawn. So if king g4, what do you do, actually? So if black king goes on g4 to attack this guy, what are you going to play? That's exactly what he did. That's exactly what he just did. I mean, it's such a natural move to react to. How you gonna play with white? Because this guy's gonna fall. You can't play the knight anywhere, virtually anywhere. White knight can't do a damn thing here. You just completely lost. I think white is completely lost. I'm afraid for Dingley Ren, he gonna just shake hands and accept the loss because I can't find any maneuvering that I mean, you could continue playing it, but I think it's already compromised for white. You can't defend the h4, and if the h4 is falling, then the other guy comes down, and virtually that would be it. That's it. I don't know what white can play here. You can't stop both black pawns. Probably you can play because being a human, the other guy might play a blunder or a mistake or something, but I think theoretically, in principle, is pretty much finished here. So let's go to Anish Giri Gukesh if there's been any modification. Hey, they played a couple of moves. Where were we last time, guys? King, okay, centralizing the king, getting the king. Actually, what do you want to get that king? You wanted to play it on f5 though. Okay, f3. F3, and that was the last. That was the last one. So I reckon, Charles, you addressing the last game we've seen with Dingley Ren and Prague. Yeah. That's, I think probably this one with Anish Giri and Gukesh probably is the most instructive one and is the most exciting. But all of them are instructive, by the way. Let's very briefly. So what did the... Okay, so now I think white has lost here. This guy is going to fall. That's it. That's it. It's done. He probably going to resign any minute, any second now. He's probably going to resign. I don't know. Have you got a plan for white? I mean, what do you want to do? This and this check? I mean, it just doesn't make any sense, right? I don't know what you could play here with white. What did you do? King f2. Really? King f2. Okay. Plan would be king takes, king plays. Okay. But then can we just drop the king and defend? I guess we can. So let's just put it this way. King takes h4, king f3, king g5, defending f4. Can you check the king or something? No, you cannot. So, okay, that would be a little bit of a grinding, but overall, black is going to win, to my understanding. Let's see quickly Yan Nepomniachtchi, Alexander Donchenko here. Oh, that was another... Hey, guys, that's another cool ending. They all so dramatic. All these endings are so dramatic. Queen to f1 checking here. This is... I think that one is this one is the most exciting one though. This one is the most exciting and the most difficult and stuff. Well, you could do a check here. That's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. And now wait a minute. Black is very much willing to repeating and draw. I don't know if Ian wants to draw here. I mean, you don't want to draw here, right? So you got to commit and do something like this because you want to maintain the battery hitting G7. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I mean, would you draw here with white? If you were Nepomniachtchi playing with the white pieces, would you actually draw here? Honestly, honest question. Would you guys draw here? I would probably think about... Yeah, I mean, you can't just repeat stuff here. That would be a shame. You can't keep repeating stuff. You got to move away from check. Try to maintain the battery hitting G7. By the way, how does black stop you to take on G7 with check? How did they stop this battery? Can they? I know there is a passer, but there is also a passer here. And by the way, the bishop is done. I don't know what you do. Well, you can't do anything. Ian is white now. You can't just repeat this stuff. You got to move king b3. Tell me, is there something wrong with king b6? Apologies. Is there something wrong? Whoa, whoa. He didn't do that. He didn't do that. I did it. Is there something wrong with king b6? I don't see what's wrong. It could be a check here, though. That is true. It can be a check. Can we move again? Namely, heck, where? Here. Okay, can be another check here. And then you move here. That is true. Then they might be playing another check here. They might. Okay, it's not that easy. You shouldn't draw here with white, but it's not over. Where do you get that king so that you don't get checked anymore? So the whole secret, I think, for white to having clarity in terms of winning is where on earth you're getting the white king away from those endless checks. Because if you stop the checking sequence, you're actually going to get on g7, and that's the end of it for black. So Ian has to come out with something here. And he's got a time. He's got 17 minutes. What do you get a king? Can you? Yeah, this is something. You're going to end up with your king. You're going to end up with your king on b8 or something. Is a7 any different? It's not clear. If you end up with the king, but where? Because you're still subjected to checks. It's not that straightforward. It's very, very tense. I think this is probably the most tense. I think this is probably the most tense ending. I guess I feel white should be winning. I think white should be winning. Should they? 2-2. No, they didn't play that. Apologies, I just moved it. Let me refresh the page, actually. Let me go back to Anish Giri, and then something happened here? No, bishop g7. Nothing happened. Well, it did happen a couple of things since we last visited. Rook b6, bishop f7, bishop g7. Okay, so that's something that will stay there forever. Back to this one. Queen f1. I don't know where on earth should I get the white king. Oh, come on. He's gonna draw. He's gonna draw, guys. So that's the second or the third time that they're repeating the sequence. I think they're gonna draw. I guess they're gonna draw now. Yeah, they're gonna draw. It's the second or the third time. Yeah. I don't know where you move it. Well, you don't have an option. You got to go back, and then queen f1 is going to happen again. And I think that's the end of it. King a4, queen a1 check. b5 f1, a4 a1, b5 f1, a4 a1 draw. That's a draw. Done. Let's fix ourselves, guys, on the game still on progress. Namely, Anish Giri Gukesh, Ding Liren Prague, and Wei E Maksudlo. Okay, let's have a quickly look at Wei E, who's white, and Maksudlo, who's black. Hey, that's a very scary passer. I think when they move the black pawn, it's not really a threat because king f2 is going to stop any promotion. I don't think there's any problem whatsoever. There's not a problem. Oops, what did I do? Yeah, I don't think there's a problem with this. So white is winning here, right? Wait a minute. Do they still play? No, that's done. Obviously, it's won. So just 2 games in progress. Ding Liren and Prague. Jan Nepomniachtchi, Donchenko, Alexander. 2 games left. 2 games left. That's instructive, and definitely Anish Giri Gukesh also instructive. That one is cool, and this one is cool as well. Check. King must move. Very, very tough for Dingley Ren. By the looks of it, he's gonna drop it. If you haven't done it, guys, by the way, Charles, you may want to have a look at your own convenience. I've got a YouTube channel and a couple of videos I've uploaded lately. So whenever you want to have a look, see if you can find anything useful in terms of some openings or tactics or stuff like that. Okay. So the king is coming closer. I guess I would do something like that. Is there any check I'm not aware of? Would you do, guys, if you were Prague with the black pieces, would you play king g3? I think I would play king g3 here. I would definitely play king g3. I can't get check, can I? Well, there is a check, but who cares? Cheers, Charles. Thanks, bud. That's it on my YouTube channel. Practically, hey, what's this? 94. Okay, he wants to simplify. I understand that. So he definitely wants to simplify. Yes. I guess king g3 would have been playable, but he's on the opinion now that you need to make sure everything gets clear and simple. Therefore, he proposes a trade. Now, if Dingley Ren accepts the knight's trade, the game is just pretty much over. You cannot stop two black pawns. You can't stop them both. If there was just a pawn, you might have said, yeah, I'm going to win the opposition and then I'm going to draw. But there is no opposition here because there's simply two passes. You can't stop two passes. Not here, not now. And of course, if you go for the check, let me just show for all of our friends. If you go now with check on h3, king's going to play g3. And that's just game over. So I think, unfortunately for Dingley Ren, he's going to have to resign. And Prague did it very well. He is really a serious contender for World Chess Championship. He's really a contender. He might be the next world champion. He might. Really promising Super Gem. Well, if Magnus doesn't want to reclaim the things, you know. Anyway, we'll take it as it is. Of course, it's losing for white, that is. Of course, it's losing. Did he resign? Yes, of course he resigned. Apologies, I just noticed. Yes. The only game, guys, the only game left. We're watching now live the end of Anish Giri white and Gukesh black. Well. Bishop g6. As we said, I think Charles mentioned, rightfully so, Bishop g6 and the h5 here, Charles. I think we can all agree, guys, that it's pretty much untouchable, the structure here. And white is also enjoying an extra pawn. So he's got an extra pawn. That bishop is seriously limited. Is very limited. You might be thinking, should black sack in exchange and rook takes, pawn takes, king takes? But it's gonna go down. If he does that, he's gonna lose. Check. That's a check. Okay, king f5, right? Rook to b4 and king to f5, if I'm correct. Tell me if you think, guys, I'm wrong or anything. So rook b4 check, king to f5. I'd say king to f5. And there is no play for black, really. I can't find anything to play for black. And then you are super stuck with that bishop because you can't move it. There is checkmate just like that. So after king f5, I mean, Gukesh could play just for a bit longer, but well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what else is here. Very nice game here. So I would do king f5. By the way, do you think, guys, there isn't difference? Should you go d5? I don't think so. I think you should go f5. There is no reason to move the king away from the king side and Yeah, you should go on f5. All the good reasons. King f5. King f5, and if rook b6, actually, there might be some extra checks here, but then you just drop it here. And if you stay on g4, I guess that's just it. Not over, but anyway. There you go, king f5. I mean, not that it's a huge discovery, but really, in between to moving king to d5 and f5, f5 was the most reasonable one. f5 was definitely the most reasonable move, and he did do it, and it was very good. And now Gukesh either resigns, or if he doesn't resign, he's gonna have to go back on b6 and wait for Anish to do something. Could you play with black this in order to open up the bishop a bit? Would you? I mean, it's just an act of desperation. I really don't see nothing here in terms that you need to take with the pawn, and then you're going to have double pawns. Very genuine question, my friends. Do you think, I mean, given the fact the situation is desperate for black, would you push e4, forcing white to having double pawns? So I think that's definitely to be explored. You tell me if you guess I'm just talking nonsense, or that might make some reason to your understand. Just let me know, guys. Yeah. Oh, no, he didn't do that. I just said, let me refresh the page though. And we're gonna go, no, not Prague, apologies, this one. Do you think this pawn might make some, might be an option here for black? I mean, that bishop doesn't do nothing anyway. It's pretty much paralyzed. You need to open up the fifth and the fourth rank for the rook to go check, if possible. At the same time, even if white takes with the f pawn, I guess that guy will go down the board. Okay, so he went for this. Okay, so you have to play now what? King to g4? You have to play king to g4. And when they check you again, probably you gotta push this guy. Is it bad? I guess it's working. So king to g4, rook to b4 check, e4. How bad is it? I don't think it's that bad. Is there something else? I'm not sure. Tell me, guys, if you think Anish Giri might have some different options here. Well, by the looks of it, I think king g4. Is there... Can you create some? No, you can't. You can't give them the pawn. Hey, he threatens a discovered check now. That is something. Now, I would imagine you got to put the rook on a dark square, obviously. So he put the rooks on a dark square as of not to being targeted by the bishop after the discovered check would take place. But there's still a discovered check coming. Unless he's got something else to do. He wants to do something else. So what would you play? Discovered check here? Bishop f7? I'm not sure. I don't know. Would you push a pawn? Would you what? And if you push a pawn, what pawn? You don't necessarily want to give black the bishop and the dark squares. So probably you don't want to do this. You probably want to do this, or you want to play the bishop somewhere. Okay, bishop f7, king h7. How are you going to do this now? I think that's quite instructive here, because white has to try find a way to pushing the pawns and promote. You need to find a way to do that. Okay. Good to see this, good to watch this. All right. Okay. Is it this and this? Is king g5 h6 an option here? Simpson, Charles, you guess that you reckon, guys, that might be king g5 h6? Might this be a plan? Or is too slow or is too risky? What do you think? King g5 h6. King g5 h. I mean, I'm looking for some practical ways to do something. Or maybe too much. I don't know. It's not clear. It's good to be watching Anish Giri, how he actually capitalizes on this situation here. It's good for learning, training purposes. Ooh, let me drop that message down. What's this? Shh. Okay, that might be something aggressive to play for white. Other than that, you gotta play e3, e4 or something. Other than that, e3, e4. I mean, what else can I do? King g5 h6. Is that strong enough? I guess it's quite strong, right? If you do king g5, even if black tries to play rook to b3 to attack your 2 pawns, I guess you can still play h6 though. Although if you do king g5 and they play rook b to check your king, that's another thing. No, you actually play king g5, and if it's rook b1, hold on a second. If it's rook b1, heck, you could do this. It's checkmate, guys. Then they play whatever, and then you do this. Disaster. The rook can't move on the back rank. Oh my days. That looks really good. So guys, I think I might got the correct sequence. I think it starts with king g5, and I guess now that's what Anish Giri calculates. King g5, you can't move the black rook away because first it's a bishop g6, king on g5 covers h6. The king has to play on the back rank, and when they do so, there is a devastating rook a1, rook a8 check. And frankly, I don't know what you're doing. You're blocking with the bishop then. But it's looking incredibly grim. So I guess it has to start with king g5. Tell me if you guys think differently or you think I'm wrong. If you think, guys, I'm wrong, let me know. I guess king g5, the most aggressive one. That's how I would definitely think to continue. Unless if you want to keep the status quo and just, yeah, kind of like pushing e3 to e4, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I guess king g5, okay. King g5, probably that's the most aggressive way to play. So if you want to look for attacking moves or something like that, you have to explore king g5. And because he's a super GM, probably he knows already the way to win. Not that Gukic is going to give up that easily, but just saying, probably king g5. Probably. King, if you guys have for white a better plan than king g5, let me know. I mean, looking for something that forces, something that attacks, something that raises issues, problems for black to defend. Let me know if you find something better than king g5. After king g5, I think black is in a very, very bad position. I don't even know what to play. King g5. Really, what do you play with black? I mean, apart from keeping the black rook on the back rank, moving left and right. If you... Okay, so king g5. Yes, he did play king g5. I'm so happy I've seen it. I'm so happy I've seen it. King g5. Good. So I was correct about that point. King g5, bishop f8. Yes, Simpson, that's correct. Yep. I'm happy I found it. King g5, bishop f8. And now the question, yes, yes, bishop g6. And now go back, rook a7. Do you? Or you push h6. This is so cool. I think it's very instructive, guys. Okay, h6, h6, h6. You want to do h6 now. You have to do h6. You could take this guy later. That's not that important now. Yeah, okay. Okay, he still wants to simplify. He wants to go rook e8. What is this complication stuff I'm thinking about? He wants to do rook e8. That's exactly what he wants to do. He's also threatening to take the pawn. So Charles and Simpson, I think Anish Giri is incredibly practical here. He goes for the pawn and he goes for rook e8. I guess Gukesh might be just resigning. Frankly, you move the rook where? You move the rook to defend the pawn on e5. You might do that. But then this guy's still gonna come here. You might have a discovered. I mean, this is to be explored. This. Can I play this? I don't want to be like a discovered check or anything. This is so cool. So now you probably have to do this, and then we could do this. Then if there is a check, we go here, then they go here. It's not quite over. Not quite over, but it's beautiful. I mean, it's very beautiful. You have to play rook b5, right? You must play rook b5. Look, okay. If black plays rook b5, rather than venturing to, so maybe you wanna fix the pawn here first. Fix the pawn. You got no headaches. Then marching over with the king, perhaps f5 or f6. So again, rook b5, and I think the wisest thing would be just fixing the pawn, so you don't get any discovered checks or anything. Fix the pawn on a massive weakness. I mean, fix the pawn on a very unfortunate square, which you can attack later on like this. Not mentioning there is also the bigger threat, which is this. And everything is very optimistic for white and not so great for black here. Right. So rook b5, and my personal choice, I think, would be e4. Rook b5, e4. And that's how I would play it. Personally, I might be missing tactics or stuff, but I think that's the safest way. Hey, did he resign? Yes, he just resigned. Oh, phew. What? Wandering Bishop, thank you very much for the information. Hikaru raid, that's very kind. Thank you very much, Hikaru, for raiding here. Now let's just put the, yeah, that's a massive plus 5.2 here, a massive one. No, what am I talking about? The engine doesn't even give rook. Let me just play it because that was the idea I had. Yeah, okay, the third line of the engine, guys. The third line of the engine, e4. Okay, I guess the engine sees absolutely everything since the very beginning, but I would have played exactly as I told you, my friends. I would have played e4 to making sure the weakness stays here. And then I'll just take it step by step. You just take it step by step here. No rushing, going for the weaknesses and stuff like that. I'm not aware about that condition. 2 minutes followers to chat. I've no idea. I didn't do nothing in terms of that condition, Wandering Bishop. I need to revisit the settings. I'm multi-streaming now and I haven't got a clue about that condition on kick.com. Thanks for raising the stuff. I'll try to tick it off. I haven't got a clue about that thing. Okay, so that was a very nice one. Very nice one. All the games have been adjudicated already. And I think I'm gonna have to go and close that stuff and then we'll be returning. Right. And by the way, guys, at your own convenience, if you wanna check the YouTube channel, I uploaded a couple of videos lately. Feel free to. That's such a cool game that happened here. So, guys, I'll be returning in a sec. And I think we're going to go through Anish Giri Gukesh. If you guys want to analyze some of the stuff you personally played, I'm happy to have a quick look and discussing it together. Very friendly fashion. So, yeah, we'll be back in a sec, guys. And we're going to have, yeah, I'm going to look at Anish Giri Gukesh. If you want to copy paste the link with the stuff you played, feel free to. And we're going to look at that one too. Okie dokie. So we'll be returning, folks. Back now. Back now. Okay, so let's go through this game very briefly. All right. Let's have a look here. Blocking this stuff. Actually covering everything. Let's just keep it this way. Anish Giri and Gukesh here. Okay, the four nights game or something. What's English opening King's English variation 4 nights. Okay. Takes and takes now covering up. Knight goes back. Nice fianchetto with the g3, preparing for the bishop g2. That's a pin. Unpinning. Bishop g2. That was a normal stuff. Castles. Guys, let's see if we identify what was the mistake for black. Challenging the bishop now. What do you do? Takes. I would love to keep this guy blocked. I wonder if e4 would be an option here. But if you do e4, you need to accept that d3 long term might become a liability. So to my understanding now, pushing e2 to e4 to get the space, make this guy like a big pawn, and that would be probably turning d3 into a weakness given the fact that knight b4 might happen. If you think I'm wrong, let me know. So what I feel here is that if you do e4, you're making d3 a weakness. By the way, guys, the same things applies as I said. If you want to analyze some of the stuff you played, let me know. Rook b1. Now that's something surprising. Is this hello Marlon? Knight e4. Knight e4. I don't think it's a bad idea. I guess after knight e4, Marlon, after knight e4, it's a bishop e7, right? And then you need to expect something like f5. Although you might have queen b3, but this guy runs away. But although if you push f5, you need to be accepting that the light squares have become incredibly weak. That might be the case. Okay. Yeah, so rook b1. What is that doing? a5. a3. a3 takes from the black knight the b4 square. Knight d5. Okay, now you push d3, sending the knight away. Takes. c6. Queen c2. Yeah, I would say exactly similarly, Marlon. Yes, f5 would have been a weakened move indeed. Very, very weakened move. But exactly as I said previously, in the moment you're committing and pushing the e-pawn forwards, this guy becomes a This guy becomes a weakness now. You have to look after this guy. So d3 is attackable. Rook d. Yeah, this just makes me a little bit uncomfortable. The f5 just makes me uncomfortable. I don't know. It's just something. It's incredibly, incredibly tempting to pushing e4. I don't even know if that's the right one, though. Why do you think he played the queen to d7? Apart from this very nice battery here, he's also ready to getting rooks behind. He's ready to get the rooks behind. But that's a threat. That's something. Knight to b6 is something, always something. Trying to stopping the knight b6, obviously. b4 takes and takes. Okay. Okay. It's a bit scary, this thing. Oh, that's so cool. So for the time being, it's safe, but he wants to opening up now the c. Obviously, you can't take because the queen is hanging. Hey, that's something's happening here. I think if Gukesh went down in this game, it's something to do with this very moment. If Gukesh went down, we're going to switch over to the engine and get a clearer picture. Marlon, what do you think? I think this is a pivotal moment in the game evolution. I think this is the moment. This is the very moment when you actually need to tread very carefully. 1 hour 5 minutes for Gukesh, 1 hour 18 minutes for Anish. After 2 minutes and like 20 seconds or something, he decided to take. This is the moment, I guess. Marlon, what would you personally do here? I guess this is the very moment. Heck, I think I would stay like a good 5-10 minutes here. Would you take Rook d3? Knight a4 is hanging. I understand. The engine says bishop e7, rook a5, g6, rook a b8, bishop g5. Apparently rook d3 is the beginning of the end for black, exactly as my intuition said. So now it's the first time I'm checking with the engine, but it is sort of forcing or not? Rook dc1, rook bc1, but they're not very good. Rook d3, it's a must. You have to play rook d3. Of course, it's a must, rook d3. Yeah, kind of forcing. The engine doesn't say it's the best move, though. It's a must, indeed. Takes. 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 But that was the moment, Marlon. I think that was the important moment of the game. 4-5. 4. This guy is a passer, though. But we got this guy. And the bishop doesn't exist. The bishop on f6 it doesn't really exist. That's such a cool idea. Oh my god, you can't even take. That was the moment of the game, Marlon. I gotta say it this way. Although the engine gave just a plus 0.3, but that was exactly the moment in the game. You can't take it, guys. Just in case you're wondering, you can't take it because of this move. Which is virtually checkmate in just 2 more moves. Of course, you can just block with, but that doesn't matter, right? That doesn't make any difference. Doesn't make any bit of a difference. So Marlon, we could say, let me go back. We could say that this is the defining moment. So b5 is not a bad one, but this is exactly the very, very, very critical situation. When you decide to play rook d3, you already threw the dice. You already cast the dice. This is the point of no return. This is the point of no return now. If you decide to do rook d3, you can't go back. Yeah, I think maybe he rushed it a bit. This is why he lost, so to speak. So to speak, if I may say that. Plus 0.1, the engine does not offer any rook d3 option here because it just doesn't like it. The engine likes just stuff, you know. Rook a5, you might, but that's not that great either. Rook a5, bc. Rook a5. BC. Ah, BC, because then pawn takes on B7. This is so sick. This is so sick. If rook a5, you don't need to take it back straight away. You take here because you're threatening what? This guy? What? No, you're threatening this. Rook a5, BC. They have to take because then you're going to play this. Yes, attacking the queen, and then you can take this guy, right? This is very, very, very complicated. Bishop e7, but it's very tough to come up with this because the bishop anyway doesn't do nothing here. So bishop e7. Bishop e7, bc, bc. Bishop e4. Aha. Very difficult. Anyway, bishop e7. Bishop e7. Yeah, that was the moment for Gukesh. This was the moment for Gukesh. Bishop e7. It's findable though because he had like 1 hour 5 minutes. Yeah, he just thought that rook d3 brings him something, gets him something. So he took. Now it starts looking weird. Rook takes. Actually, this is the blunder. No, he took. Okay, queen takes. Rook a4. I'm looking for the big moment. BC, BC, and bishop. And now he's supposed to play e4, rook a7. I mean, I'm just reading now. I'm not doing anything. Yeah, but slowly, he starts to getting. Yeah, okay. Do you know why white is better, guys? In case you may inquire, why is the engine a bit inclining towards white? White is better because the bishop on f6 doesn't exist. And because probably this one is always playable, and this guy doesn't exist. And you need to keep the rook on the same 7th rank because you're going to run into this. And this bishop covers everything, all the good squares, yeah? So you can safely play something like... You can safely play something like king g2. So from a positional point of view, so let's just put it this way. From a positional point of view, from the point of view of pieces activity, white is better. Yes, Marlon, that is correct. Yes, I totally concur with your ideas. Yes, white is better because pieces activity dictates the betterment here. Pieces activity, totally. Pieces activity, that matters absolutely. And black is just kind of like playing now defensively and stuff. You got to be careful. Queen also covers h7, so black has to be careful here not to get back rank checkmates. So you have to be careful with that one. Yeah. Okay, so that's the reason. So, and probably look, Gukesh now plays defensively. And it's very difficult. And he also, you know, I got a feeling, Marlon, that he also plays a bit too fast. I mean, the heck, he's got 1 minute 4 seconds. Sorry, apologies, 1 hour 4 minutes. He also moved a bit fast. Queen d8. Why e4 is the first line of the engine, just in case people are wondering. E4 is a very sound pawn sacrifice because it is the only way to ensure the bishop would actually do something in this game. So I think this is very instructive, Marlon, and my chess friends that are present now. This is that kind of move we need to explore a little bit. E4 is the first line of the engine because actually it activates the bishop. So there are some exceptions where you kind of have to do something to allow your pieces to attack, to become active. So that bishop on f6 would have been very good. So that pawn on e4 sort of, the pawn on e5, it's good to disappear from this point of view. So that would have been a very interesting point, but he didn't though. He went queen d8. And boy, Anish really, yeah. I'm not sure about this move because it places the pawn on a... On the other hand, can you not push it though? h5. It just feels a little bit weird because it's just attackable by either bishop or queen long term. Pushing h5, yeah, I don't know what to say. Yeah, it feels rook d7 a bit more stronger though. Yeah, of course there is always e4, but hey. Yeah, there is always e4. This guy is also pinned, but yeah, e4 is probably always doable. h5. Rook b5. Okay, he didn't want to push e4. Is e4? No, okay, so probably you need to allow the queen to travel. So e4 would have blocked the queen in. Probably. Okay, pressure on f7. What it is... Oh, he messed up here. 44 minutes. Do you know, he fought very long now. Okay. Mullen, he stayed 15 minutes, man. He's actually stayed 17, 18 minutes here. Instead of staying previously, he spent now 15, 17 minutes and he came up with something like h5. Anish played. He moved now again after like 11 minutes. After like 11 minutes, he decided to go for this. And the engine absolutely hates it. So he was supposed to go for something like rook a5 to just hit and simplifying things. That's a good one. Not that much of... Okay, so he messed up here. So Gukesh messed up at this point. Rook a5 would have simplified things. And just play as it is. You got equal material. Okay, you got a lousy bishop. You got an unhappy bishop, but hey. Okay, that was the move. Move number 27. Yes, Marlon, I think you could accept here with black that a draw is not the end of the world, right? I mean, what the heck? You've got 4 pawns versus 4 pawns, a bishop. Okay, not a very happy bishop. But I guess if you get a chance to play bishop e7, it's what it is. Yeah, it is what it is. So rook a5 would have probably increased the chances for a draw. But this one doesn't. It just allows white to dancing around a bit. Yeah, it's just getting weirder and weirder and weirder for Gukesh here. Yeah, this kind of things are really, really scary. Really scary. There is always all sorts of things everywhere. Just to highlight how many threats now looming for the Black King. Just to highlighting. Okay. Alrighty, folks. Very nice game. Very nice games this evening now. Very nice games. So, blocked. Exactly as I said. Exactly. This is so dangerous. Desperation. And now double pawns and stuff. So he took an liability. This is a problem. The pawn on e6, it is a problem indeed with this guy. Yeah. So you see, Anish Giri just took the simplest way. Yeah, that's exactly right, man. So he took it simply. He took it simply. He just said, look, I'm going to give him double pawns and weak pawn on e6. I'm very happy with this. That's what it is to be a super chess master. You identify the weakness, play simple yet very efficient. Simple but efficient. And pieces activity, yeah, matters absolutely. Totally. So, yeah. Now we've got a weakness here. A very active bishop. The black bishop is terrible. The black bishop on f6, it's absolutely awful. You can't even do something with this bishop, Marlon. It's painful. You can't do nothing. This is so painful to watch. Yeah. Oh my days. Awful. Anyway, fabulous game and very instructive for us. So, Marlon, thanks very much for stopping by, brother. Don't forget to check my last YouTube video whenever you got some time. It's about the pieces activity and inviting all the friends to the party. So whenever you got time, brother, you could have a quick look at the last video I've uploaded. It is Soren Chess Coach, exactly as my username everywhere. On all the social media, you're gonna find, yeah. So just type in Soren Chess Coach Fausto, and you're gonna find it for sure. And yeah, I just uploaded a video on the pieces activity and getting all of your pieces to tactically attacking your opponent. Just see if you can just grab any useful thoughts. Hey, Simpson, I didn't know you were here, bud. It just shows me one viewer, but I'm happy I have 3 viewers. I didn't know I had 3 viewers. I thought I just had Marlon with me. That's what it shows me. Probably it's not updated or something. So, Simpson, thanks, brother. Marlon, cheers, mate. And thank you, Fausto. And guys, tomorrow, Wednesday, I reckon same stuff, 6:30 or something like that. We're going to meet up again, guys. We're going to see what's happening with the last, with the, the ending of the tomorrow's round. Thank you very much, Fausto. Appreciate it a lot, brother. Cheers, mate. Okay. Very glad to have met you again, folks. Take care and see you tomorrow evening, folks. Thank you.